It's time for another status update video. Now, I may mention stuff that I said in previous status update videos, and I put the links to those videos in the movie description, so you can check those out if you want. Okay, first off, a little while ago, I modified my Megaminx because the Chinese Megaminx, is, I believe was what they call, is rather clicky. And I cut off all of the bumps inside and then shaved down all of the sharp edges so that it would turn nice and smooth. And then also, you may hate me for this, but I actually lubricated it with Vaseline after I was done. Now, I'm not going to keep it in there permanently. I will leave it in there for 3 months and then clean it all out and then spray it with silicone spray. Because this Rubik's Cube here seems to handle very well. I mean, much better than the Rubik's Cubes in my Siamese Cube here. And I believe the reason is because I had this lubricated with Vaseline for several months. And I've cleaned all the Vaseline out now and put silicone in it, and it makes a great speed cube. So I will be trying that out with my Megaminx and see how it handles afterwards. And also, when I was modifying it, I noticed an interesting thing. You can actually pop off the center caps. Like that. And it reveals a screw in there, an adjustable screw with the spring and everything. So I was able to unscrew the center pieces, which made it much easier to modify the insides and everything. And then I was able to adjust it to my own personal preference of tension. So that was really nice, and it was pretty hard to get the center cap out. And the red one actually kind of broke. So a piece of the center cap was kind of left in the centerpiece, so that leads me to believe that they were glued down mildly. And another thing that I'm starting to get interested in is supercubes. Now, some people have referred to the V-Cube 6 and 7 as supercubes, but really they're not. In a supercube, you need to make sure that each centerpiece in a cube is in the right position. So, in this Eachine 4x4, I can switch these two centers, but it will still be in the solved position. And then on the 3x3 Rubik's Cube here, I can rotate, like this logo sticker here, 90 degrees, and it will still be in the solved position. With a supercube, they add color bars to the sides of it so that the centers have to be in the correct position and oriented correctly. Now, a normal Rubik's Cube has 43 quintillion different possible permutations. With a Super Rubik's Cube, there is 177 sextillion supercubes. That is 4,096 times more possible permutations than what this cube has. So, it is much harder to do. And I printed out some Rubin King stickers off of my computer, and they're basically just 2 stickers put together on the side like this. Go to Cubesmith.com and check out their Rubin King stickers to see what I mean. And I am using different color shades of stickers instead to make it like a supercube, because you can't switch any of these centerpieces or rotate it any differently. But it's a little tough to do, and it can get confusing at times. But before this, I had the regular supercube stickers that I printed off myself. You know, they won't last nearly as long as good stickers from Cubesmith. And they had color bars on it to distinguish them, and that was pretty annoying. I first had color bars on just the center pieces, and then I put the color bars on the edge and corner pieces, like I show in this video I took before. See, look how annoying this is. It's really hard to tell if it's even solved, although if on a normal 4x4, this is considered solved, but look closely at these red centers. You can see that they're not in the correct places. And then the yellow are unoriented, right? It's just very hard to tell. And just look at it when it's all mixed up. So it's even hard to tell, like, let's say you're looking for the yellow centers. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, you can get them mixed up with the orange ones. I mean, it's just a positively annoying cube. So that cube was very annoying to solve, but it really wasn't that bad when I just had those color bars on the centerpieces. And as I said before, that doing it this way is a bit confusing at times, so I will order Super Cube stickers and Rubin King stickers for the Rubik's Cubes in my Siamese cube and see which ones I like better. Now what I mean by that is I'm going to split these two cubes apart again and put the pieces back in and then put the stickers on each cube. Now the reason for that is because a while ago I actually figured out how to solve this, and that's why it's in its solved position. And I actually figured it out all by myself. I did not look at any YouTube videos, which makes me very proud of myself. So I had to come up with two new algorithms myself, and I used one algorithm that I used for PLL or OLL, I'm not sure which. And I am currently using the beginner's method, so I am doing it layer by layer, and then I get the white cross, or actually the yellow cross, and then I position all the edges correctly, and then I put all the corners in the right place, and then I orient them. Now, orienting the corners was really hard to do, but I actually figured out how to do it. I do plan on posting a tutorial on how to solve this thing with the method I came up with, so the method that Monkey Dude posted, or Thross posted, may be better, but I'll just be showing you the method that I figured it out. So when I figured out this thing, it just made me so happy. It was fun to solve, but that is all used up. So the challenge of it is all used up. If I want to play with a Rubik's Cube, I'm going to grab this thing, not the Siamese Cube, because this is rather more convenient to solve. And so, since the challenge of this thing is all used up, I will be using them as the two Super Cubes that I mentioned earlier. And a little while ago, I wanted to put tiles on my 2x2 here, so I ordered the 2x2 Eachine tiles, just hoping they would fit. I'm not sure if they would. But I contacted the guy shortly after he shipped them and asked them if the Eachine 2x2 tiles are too big for the Pocket Cube, and he said that they were. So, and sure enough, they were. But I decided to put them on my 1x1, which was just the right size. They're a little too big for my taste, but anyway, this works out. Now, I would be able to cut my own tiles with this with my leftover tile material, but I don't have any white tiles. And I have only other 3 Eachine tiles that I could cut down into place. So I would need to order my own white tile material to cut those before I put tiles on this. And actually, I did put springs in my Eachine 4x4 again. But this time, I took apart my broken V-Cube 7 core, and which was very hard to do. I mean, this is tough plastic. And so I cut off these things and took out the little spring in there, and just for your information, these little rivet things, they go all the way down into the core. And then there's just a smooth part in it where the spring is. And then there's these little notches. They're not screw notches, and they are embedded in the plastic here. I'll let you look closely at that. So I took out the springs and then cut them into thirds, and then put them in my Eachine 4x4. And let's see, you might be able to see that there. I put it in a Lego washer, as I said before. There. So it pretty much improved it a little. Not as much as I would have hoped, but I can now take it apart and reassemble it just like a V-Cube. Because V-Cubes are much easier to reassemble because they've got springs in them, so that you can just fit the pieces in between the core very easily. Well, the Eachine 4x4 doesn't come with screws, so they would just slide out of place if you assembled it the same way as a V-Cube. And so I can basically pop out an edge piece now.